All right, we're back on the record in State of Kansas versus Kanaya Eubanks, same appearances as before. After meeting with your client again in a breakout room, announcements, Mr. Favre?
Judge, I think Mr. Eubanks is ready to proceed with the waiver today, as we previously have announced. I think there was some confusion, but he's ready to proceed with the waiver.
Okay. All right, Mr. Eubanks, you wish to waive your right to an evidentiary hearing regarding the violations that have been addressed previously here on the record this morning?
You'll muted.
Need to unmute.
Yes.
All right, and you understand at this evidentiary hearing, the state would be required to put on evidence to show that you violated your probation by a preponderance of the evidence? Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that by waiving your right to a hearing and admitting to the violations, again, that we previously addressed, that the court would find that you violated your probation?
Yes.
And do you understand that upon making that finding, that there are several options available to the court, such as extending your probation, ordering that you serve a jail sanction, or in some situations, outright revoking your probation and having you serve the balance of your sentence?
Yes.
All right. Has anybody made any threats or promises to get you to waive your right to a hearing and enter these stipulations today? All right. You'll need to make sure that is picked up on the record.
Oh, no.
All right. All right. I'll find that Mr. Eubanks has had an opportunity to consult with counsel, that he's made a knowing and voluntary waiver of hearing and has stipulated to the violations as previously discussed. I will find that Mr. Eubanks did violate his probation by failing to pay his fines and costs as directed, by failing to report proof of employment to probation. He admits that he has a new case pending. However, that case has not been resolved. All right. Is there a joint recommendation for disposition, or Ms. Gillette, do you have a recommendation?
There's not, Your Honor. Mr. Eubanks has been difficult. He's been difficult for the court to keep here. He's been difficult for probation. He's already had a sanction for use of methamphetamine, amphetamine on 3/3/25. This is a 2023 case that took a long time to resolve because Mr. Eubanks had multiple failures to appear and had a no bond hold on him in order to keep him so that we could get him sentenced. He's continued in the same patterns of behavior of disregarding the court's orders since being placed on probation, with being sanctioned for use and continuing to not work, continuing to not make payments. He has made 0 payments on his case. His, oh, I have good intentions to pay, is not his monthly payment that he's been told to pay by the courts. He doesn't maintain employment. You know, if I could have had the officer from Wichita here to clear up that he didn't report after his Wichita court, he just doesn't want to follow the rules. Probation is a privilege and not a right. Choices like Mr. Eubanks is making have consequences. I would have thought that the no bond hold for a long period of time to get his case resolved would have shown him not to want to come back to jail and to comply with his probation. Since he's already had a sanction and has continued to be frustrating to his CSO to already have a violation, he was originally sentenced in this case, Your Honor, on January 2nd of 2025. We are 5.5 months into this case of a 12-month probation supervision, and he already has a sanction and a probation revocation. He is showing the court he is not amenable to probation. In fact, it asks in the request for revocation of probation for his case to be outright revoked because he doesn't want to follow any of the rules. He didn't want to follow the court's orders during the pendency of his case, and he's not wanting to follow the court's rules on probation. He is asking to be put in custody.
So do you have a recommendation, Ms. Gillette?
Revocation of probation is asked for in the revocation by the court services officer.
All right, Mr. Fabre, your recommendations?
But Judge, I think that Mr. Eubanks is actually making a lot of progress in some ways. I think he is currently going to treatment at ComCare twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. The other days of the week, he works at McDonald's more than 40 hours a week. He's set to start making his payments in his case very soon. It is a new job. And part of what's gotten him a little bit backed up is the fact that he had this new case where he was arrested briefly on that new case. I would note that Ms. Nelson's not requesting revocation. She's the one that's working most closely with him. I know Ms. Wheeler's recommendation was to consider that, but he's only been on since January. And this is an addiction problem that he's actively in the process of addressing. And so I think that we should give Mr. Eubanks another chance at that probation. These are minor technical violations. And I think that we should consider that and give him a 3-day sanction. Ask the court to consider allowing him a week to schedule that with his work. So if we could start that next Friday and do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that we can give his work a heads up so he doesn't lose his job. He needs to be out Monday for ComCare treatment. And so that's our.
Thank you, Mr. Fabre. Mr. Eubanks, is there anything that you'd like to say?
Yeah, I have been trying, due to like whenever I got arrested and stuff, I was actively trying to figure out who to call, but I literally couldn't figure out who to call because of like, the one in Wichita. I didn't know, like, I couldn't even contact her. And then I literally just talked to Judge Webster and she gave me contact information and I immediately called. So I was trying and I am catching up on my bills, but like literally I got a $800 paycheck I had to pay towards bills. But this next one, I was going to make sure I was fully caught up. And then after that, I was going to do that. And then I do attend every Monday and Wednesday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at my treatment center. So I am trying. I'm actively trying. So, and then like, I don't know why they think that, but like, I just think everything is just a misconfusion on what is really going on because I literally am trying.
Well, I don't think there's any confusion about whether or not you've paid
like
$50 a month towards your fines, or there's any confusion that you haven't provided proof of your employment.
Yeah, my proof of employment I did have at Long John Silver's, but the time I had gotten arrested, I didn't know who I would send it to after that because what I was told was that she was taken away in Wichita, and then I didn't, and then my other probation officer went on leave, so I was all mixed up on who to call. You know, I apologize.
Did you bring money to pay today?
No, but I do have like $25 I can pay like tomorrow. And then I can catch up on my.
Where do you attend treatment?
I attend treatment at ComCare right close to my job. So it's at ComCare on Oliver.
All right, Mr. Eubanks, you need to.
And I did bring
I
my,
don't want to hear anything else right now. You need to step it up. If you've been given a note, somebody to report to in Wichita and you're unsure of where that person is, then you need to call the court services office here in our judicial district to find out if there's been a change. So default setting, call back to your contact here through the Greenwood County Court Services Office.
Okay.
You need to make your $50 a month payments. If you're working at McDonald's, you need to provide proof of that. If you're directed to report after a court date, you report after that court date.
okay,
I'm going to order that you serve a 3-day jail sanction. That's going to be forthwith, meaning you're going to serve it starting right now. You're going to be taken into custody. You're going to serve 3 days in jail. Then you'll be released. And then you'll be back on probation. I'm assuming he doesn't need to be extended.
Your Honor, I would actually ask that you consider moving him up to community corrections as this is a felony case for 12 months from today.
How did he end up on court services to begin with? Just a low score or something?
That's correct, Your Honor. I don't know that things were as transparent as they should have been. So he scored a moderate level.
Okay, well, I think if there's been a positive test already, all right, I am gonna have you start reporting to community corrections now rather than court services.
okay,
So if Sedgwick County Community Corrections wants to courtesy supervise you, I'm okay with that, but they have to agree to supervise you first. So you're going to report to our community corrections office until you're told otherwise.
okay,
That doesn't change any of your probation conditions. You report as directed, you make your payments as directed, you provide proof of employment as directed, provide proof of treatment. That's not alleged here that you're not violating that, so that's good. You need to continue doing that. All right, I see Miss Ashenfelter and Mr. Clausing from Community Corrections are on here. Does he need to meet with one of you in a breakout room or call, or how does he make contact?
Yes, Your Honor, if we can, I will meet with him in a breakout room.
Your Honor, are you making that 12 months from today?
Yes. All right, Mr. Eubanks, you've had a sanction. You've now had your first revocation hearing in front of me. If you come back here for violations, it's going to get a lot worse. I hope you understand that.
yes,
What do you have? 11 months, an 11-month prison sentence dangling over your head.
right.
All right. Is there a Greenwood County Sheriff's officer in there with you?
No. So how do I so am I starting my 3-day sanction today? So I have to miss my court, I mean, not my court, but my job? Like
Yes.
I literally started 2 weeks ago. I thought they said that I could possibly come back and serve, so I have time to.
That's a possibility, but I'm not allowing that. You haven't
Okay,
established a good history of appearing as directed. So I have you there at the courthouse. I'm going to ask that a Greenwood County Sheriff's officer take you into custody soon as you're done visiting with Mr. Clausen in a breakout room.
okay.
Your Honor, are you adding on any fees for today, or are you waiving those? I have to put it in the journal entry.
I'm going to order that he pay $250 towards his court-appointed attorney's fees for today's round of hearings. All right, Mr. Eubanks, visit with Mr. Clausen in a breakout room. He's going to give you reporting instructions, and then you'll begin serving your 3-day sanction. All right, if there's nothing further, we'll be in recess.
Thank you, Judge. I think that's all I have this morning, if I can be
All right.
excused.
Thank you, Joe.